ranges over the next 3 days, and then 2 days travel home. Fast approaching the end of our epic adventure through the centre of Australia. But we didn't quite make it to Kings Canyon last night. Yesterday was a big day. We finished at Catajuda, or the Augers, at about 1:30, 2 o'clock. And then we drove back into Yalaura on the way out, stopped for a bit of lunch on the side of the road there, and got moving again. So we pulled in at a Salt Creek rest area. Actually quite a nice little camp over some dunes, tucked in amongst all the trees. Was able to do some night photography. Got a couple of nice shots of the camp at night and a time lapse of the Milky Way, so that was nice. But I think we're about 100 kilometres from Kings Canyon. So we're not going to spend a lot of time at Kings Canyon. Quick look there, and then we're hopefully aiming for Fink Gorge tonight, which is sort of the gateway, I guess, into the specky area of West McDonald Ranges. I would have liked to have taken the little bog hole access road to the right, which cuts out quite a lot of bitumen travel, but I was doing a bit of research on the track and it seems to be a bit of an extreme four-wheel drive track. Scary stories of guys getting bogged for hours, if not a full day, and you just don't have the time or the preparation to do that particular road this time. But it's a nice little road actually. If you look at the map, it follows the Fink River and then pops you out of the Fink Gorge and then across the road into West McDonald Ranges. So maybe future trip we might just have to drive out to Alice Springs, stock up, refuel, drive through the Fink River. So you're actually driving on the riverbed, from what I understand, for the majority of the trip. So that's one of the reasons why we didn't take that. So we stuck to the bitumen this time for today, rest of today, tomorrow probably, until we get into the ranges. There's a few little four-wheel drive access tracks into certain areas that we're going to go look at. Yesterday, for most of the trip, I've been in pants. I think I was in shorts for all of 2 hours around Uluru. It's been quite cool at night. Whereas yesterday, it got to a top of 34, I think. And it stayed for most of the night. So, huge change. So here we are. We are in Kings Canyon. So we've come across the Simpson Desert, along here, through Fink, Caldura. From there, we went into, so spotted on the map, Uluru, and then down into Kings Canyon. Coming across here into the Fink Gorge tonight, so not far from Alice Springs, and then through the ranges, and then we take this road home through here and then drop back down through the middle here back to Charleville onto the Warrego Way. We're about 200 k's from Alice Springs. We've just come through part of the McDonald's ranges, about 159 kilometres of harsh dirt road.
And rock.
We've pulled over to consult the map for our first camp, and we've split one of the long range tanks underneath the Challenger. So what we're doing, very rudimentary, is we're draining the tank, which is a bit of a pain because the tank we had only just filled up, so we've got 118 litres to try and put it everywhere. So we're just draining it into clean containers and then siphoning it into our empty jerrys that we had as we crossed the desert. So we got 100 litres of empty jerry cans, so we got almost enough to drain the tank. And then once we've got the tank empty, we can use, here's another container, Trav, when you're ready. We've got a product called mead, and we're just going to mead it together, put it over the seam of the tank and seal it up, and that should get us home. So we'll see how we go. Luckily we pulled over to consult. Camp spot on the edge of Fink River, just outside of the national park. This is our view as the sun goes down. Just beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. And we've got our camp. Campfire, Riley, and us over there in the corner.
He's in.
Well, we're in Alice Springs, and as you can see here, we're doing some bush mechanics. Not quite in the bush, but close enough. The last 200 kilometres was pretty corrugated gravel dirt road, and the brand new long range tank in the Challenger split along the weld from the corrugations. We patched it on the side of the road 200 k's ago, and it's held up, but it's just starting to leak down. We're starting the trip home, and we don't want to be doing this elsewhere, so we've come up with this. Max Tracks. Let's drop the tank out, and then we'll take it to the engineer mob and weld it up. Safe as houses. So, this is one of our last bush camps of the trip. We're about 300 kilometres north of Alice Springs. We had a bit of trouble in Alice Springs. We, coming from Uluru into Alice Springs, we took a shortcut on a dirt track through the McDonald's ranges and come in on the backside. It was quite a corrugated road, about 300 kilometres of heavy corrugations, and the Mitsubishi Challenger had a brand new long range tank in. They've copped a rock to the tank, but what's actually happened is the seam weld has split. We patched it up on the side of the road, got into Alice Springs, and it started to leak again. So it was on the side of the road, pulled the tank out, there's footage of that. Pulled the tank out, took it into an engineer, welder, boilermaker. He welded it up for us, refit the tank, refueled, and got out of Alice Springs. So we're about 300 k's north, camped on top of a hill. Either side of us is some beautiful rocky formations. That's just a spectacular little campsite for the night. And then tomorrow, hopefully, we'll have a full day on the road. We're heading for the Queensland border. We're about 289 kilometres from the Queensland border. So we'll make that tomorrow, definitely. We'll see how far we get. We might make, I think we actually go through the Long Reach, so we might make it there tomorrow, but we'll play that bit by ear. But tonight, we're camped up on top of the hill, bush showers all round. We've deserved it after today's effort. We are covered in diesel and grease and dirt. We were going to push on a little bit further, but it just got too dark. Couldn't see the dips in the dirt roads enough, and plus cattle were starting to come out onto the road, so we pulled in for the night. And I'll leave you with our view for the evening.